We got 6 minutes to go in the session. The S&P and the NASDAQ looking for their third straight record close. The Dow trying to join the party. Jared Blikre is with me here. So Jared, we look at the chart today. Actually not a great day if we look at the intraday range because we've given up about half of our day's gains, at least in the Dow.
Yeah, it's time to sell, right? Obviously.
That's it, right? It's over. Party is over.
The S&P here just kind of knocking on 3,200. The Dow, it has some Boeing problems. That's really the problem with the Dow right now. NASDAQ doing very well, up nearly 1%. Tech stocks outperforming yet again. And then the Russell 2000 losing a little bit of steam here, but it had been up the most, 1.2%. Yeah. And of course, that's as we see bond yields up today. So, it's up the 10-year is up 7 basis points again. And when we've seen these moves, it propels a certain group of stocks higher, and then the next day it falls and another group of stocks go higher. But the net result is stocks keep going higher. Continuing
to see that rotation within the market, a reflation trade underway. I just want to quickly touch on the VIX. Volatility continues to get just absolutely crushed in this market, perking its head up just a little bit there. But overall, we've kind of seen, there were signs of life in the vol trade earlier this month. But really, if you kind of back out a few events in the last few years, and we're not even talking about the vol explosion in 2018, it's kind of really been just, shorting vol has remained kind of a fine trade.
Yeah, it's kind of incredible, too. And we have options expiration this week, so I'm glad you brought that up so we can talk about dealer gamma hedging once again.
Hey, that's
maybe some CTA talk.
Who wouldn't want to talk about that?
Well, they're very... Thank you, Andy. They're very long gamma. If they don't roll their positions over, could be some de-risking, maybe have another 2.7% sell-off in the S&P. Not the end of the world.
I'll pretend I know what all those words mean. Of course, there's a lot of action going on in a part of the market we haven't discussed all that much recently. That is the coins.
Okay.
We continue to see Bitcoin just kind of like do some Bitcoin stuff, and it's like, well, that's good for those guys.
Yeah, we had
fallen out of bed because why not?
Yeah, we had a pretty big drop here. I didn't see any news in particular. There's this ongoing scam that the Chinese are investigating. They got something like 20,000 more Bitcoins. You can't make this stuff up, guys.
You literally cannot. You literally cannot.
From a technical perspective, it is trading below the 200-day moving average. It's still kind of up a little bit. It's slanting upwards, but until it gets above this trend line right here and above the 200-day, which would be about the same time, if that happens, I'm not real excited about the technical picture. This could drop even farther. We haven't seen it close. It looks like it's going to close the lowest since May. So again, just weak technicals here that we've been talking.
Double for the year, though, Jared.
Yeah, it's still up 112% if you bought at the beginning of the year, which is outpacing the S&P 500 by about 4 times.
Well, actually, a serious question for you, and we touched on it a little bit last week. What did you make of Bank of America coming out and saying, like, oh, the best performing asset of the decade was Bitcoin? I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because
does that even count?
Who bought in 2009, 2010 at the very beginning?
Right.
There's a famous pizza trade where somebody bought pizza with Bitcoins, and it took so many that these Bitcoins are worth something like $100 million now. But aside from that person who got the pizza money, really, who bought at the beginning?
Right.
I didn't.
Right. You bought when Jen Rogers bought.
Yep.
And then you lost a little bit of money. Yeah. But then you made some.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, where's the next low here?
I'm not going to say.
You're right at key support here, right in that 5,000 range or so.